Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Every day you interact with people, friends, colleagues, strangers, and yet most of the conflicts, misunderstandings, and disappointments in life come from one simple truth. We do not truly understand human nature. Why do people suddenly change their behavior? Why do some people manipulate, lie, or betray? Why do others inspire loyalty, trust, and admiration? According to Robert Greene, the answers lie in understanding the hidden psychological forces that drive human behavior. In this video, we'll explore the powerful insights from the Laws of Human Nature, a guide that reveals the invisible patterns behind how people think, feel, and act. And once you understand these patterns, you begin to see human behavior with extraordinary clarity. Introduction to the book. Human beings are complex. We like to believe we are rational creatures, guided by logic and reason, but in reality, much of our behavior is driven by emotions, insecurities, and unconscious impulses. We react without thinking. We defend our egos. We judge others quickly, and often we misunderstand the motives of those around us. In the Laws of Human Nature, Robert Greene explores the deep psychological patterns that influence human behavior. Drawing from history, philosophy, and psychology, the book reveals timeless lessons about power, emotion, empathy, and self-awareness. The goal is not to manipulate others. The goal is understanding. Because when you understand human nature, you gain the ability to navigate relationships with wisdom and clarity. Today, we will explore 9 powerful lessons from this book that can help you better understand people, including yourself. Lesson 1. Master your emotional self. One of the most fundamental truths about human nature is this: we are emotional creatures. Even when we believe we are acting logically, emotions often guide our decisions. Anger, jealousy, pride, fear. These emotions can cloud judgment and lead us to make choices we later regret. But wise individuals develop the ability to step back from their emotions. They observe their reactions before acting. For example, imagine receiving harsh criticism. Your first impulse might be anger or defensiveness, but someone who understands emotional control, pause. They ask themselves, is this reaction helping me or harming me? This pause creates space for wisdom. Mastering your emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means understanding them and choosing how to respond. Lesson 2. People are driven by self-interest. One of the most difficult truths about human nature is that most people are primarily concerned with their own interests. This does not mean people are evil. It simply means that everyone views the world through their own needs, fears, and desires. Understanding this truth changes how you approach relationships. Instead of asking, how can I convince this person? Ask, what does this person truly want? For example, a leader who understands this principle does not motivate people through authority alone. They align their message with what others care about. When people feel their interests are understood, cooperation becomes natural. Lesson 3. The Law of Narcissism. According to Robert Greene, all humans possess a certain degree of narcissism. We constantly think about ourselves, our problems, our ambitions, our fears. Because of this, people deeply appreciate those who show genuine empathy. Empathy is the ability to step into another person's emotional world, to understand what they feel, what they fear, what they hope for. For example, when someone shares a problem, most people quickly respond with their own story, but empathetic people listen first. They try to understand before speaking. This simple habit makes others feel respected and valued, and people naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel understood. Lesson 4. Beware of envy. Envy is one of the most powerful hidden forces in human relationships, yet it is rarely discussed openly. When someone achieves success, others may feel threatened, not because they dislike the person, but because that success reflects their own insecurities. Envy can quietly damage relationships. It can lead to criticism, sabotage, or passive hostility. The wise approach is awareness. Recognize when envy appears in others and even within yourself. Instead of comparing yourself constantly to others, focus on your own growth, because comparison is the fuel that keeps envy alive. Lesson 5. Understand people's masks. Human beings rarely reveal their true selves immediately. In social situations, people wear masks. They present a version of themselves that appears confident, friendly, or agreeable. But beneath this mask may exist very different emotions: insecurity, ambition, fear. Understanding this helps you read people more accurately. Observe actions, not just words. Notice patterns of behavior over time. Someone may say they support you, but their actions might reveal subtle competition. True understanding comes from patient observation. Lesson 6. The Power of Purpose. People who lack purpose often drift through life reacting to circumstances, but individuals with a clear sense of purpose move with direction and determination. Purpose gives energy to our actions. It shapes our habits and decisions. History is filled with examples of individuals whose strong purpose transformed their lives. They faced obstacles and failures, but their purpose kept them moving forward. When you align your life with a meaningful purpose, your actions become more focused, your resilience becomes stronger, and your influence on others grows naturally. Lesson 7. Resist the conformity trap. Humans have a deep desire to belong. Because of this, we often conform to the opinions and behaviors of those around us. Sometimes this is harmless, but other times it leads to poor decisions. History shows many examples of groups making irrational choices simply because no one wanted to challenge the majority. Wise individuals maintain the ability to think independently. They listen to others, but they do not blindly follow. They question assumptions. They analyze situations carefully. True strength often requires the courage to stand apart from the crowd. Lesson 8. Recognize aggressive behavior early. Some individuals operate through manipulation and hidden aggression. They may appear charming at first, but gradually reveal controlling or hostile behavior. Recognizing these patterns early can protect you from serious harm. Common signs include constant criticism, passive-aggressive comments, attempts to control decisions, or subtle efforts to undermine confidence. Understanding human nature helps you identify these behaviors quickly, and once recognized, you can establish boundaries before the situation escalates. Lesson 9. Develop self-awareness. Perhaps the most important lesson in the laws of human nature is this: the person you must understand most deeply is yourself. We all have blind spots, hidden fears, unconscious habits. Without self-awareness, these patterns control our behavior. But when we observe ourselves honestly, we gain the ability to change. Ask yourself questions like, why did that comment upset me? Why do I react defensively in certain situations? Why do certain people trigger strong emotions? Self-reflection transforms unconscious reactions into conscious choices, and conscious choices create personal growth. Final reflection. Understanding human nature is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. It improves relationships, strengthens leadership, and prevents countless misunderstandings, but this knowledge must be applied with wisdom. The goal is not to judge others harshly. The goal is awareness and compassion, because when you understand the emotional struggles, insecurities, and desires that shape human behavior, you begin to see people more clearly, and that clarity allows you to respond with patience and intelligence. Motivational closing. Imagine moving through life with a deeper understanding of people, recognizing hidden motives, understanding emotional reactions, navigating relationships with calm awareness. This is the power of mastering human nature. The insights from the laws of human nature remind us that wisdom begins with observation. Observe others, observe yourself, learn from patterns of behavior, and with time, the complexity of human relationships becomes easier to understand. Because when you truly understand human nature, you no longer react blindly to the world. You move through it with clarity, patience, and quiet strength. And in a world driven by emotion and misunderstanding, that kind of wisdom is rare, but it is also incredibly powerful. If you get something from this book, please like and subscribe. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the video.